All right, folks, buckle up because what you're about to see is yet another epic media meltdown. So MSNBC just tried to push another wild anti-Trump, anti-Musk conspiracy theory. And spoiler alert, it just blew up right in their face. I mean, Rachel Maddow, she really thought that she could just kind of twist some half-baked theories into some media news headlines, ultimately hoping that you wouldn't even notice the gaps in her stories, right? But they're gaping holes. You can't miss them, really. But guess what, guys? We noticed. And today we're going to go ahead and break it down. We're going to break down all the lies, the spin, the absolute desperation of a network that just can't stand seeing Elon Musk succeed, and they can't handle Trump making moves, and they definitely cannot stomach the work of the Department of the Government Efficiency, aka Doge, and what they're doing to cut waste and ultimately put America first, guys. They want you distracted. They want you misled, but we're not going to fall for it today, guys. So if you're here, I'm guessing you're not either, right? So quick favor though, guys, before we dive in, seriously, smash the like button. It's pretty much the only thing that'll get this video to be able to reach more people and cut through the algorithm that loves burying videos like this one. So if you guys hate being lied to by the media as much as I do, let's go ahead and show them that we ain't staying quiet. All right, so let's go ahead and roll tape and watch Rachel Maddow's conspiracy theory like just crumble in real time.
Tesla shares have dropped 20% in value since Inauguration Day. Tesla sales in Europe have taken huge hits recently, down 40 or 50% or more in the largest markets in Europe. Overall, in the last year, globally, electric vehicle sales are up 25%, but Tesla sales are down 1%. And down 1% may not seem like that big a deal, even as the overall market for that type of vehicle is going up. But consider that minus 1% of that drop in Tesla sales this year follows the last 2 years in which Tesla sales were up 38% and up 40%. And now this year they're minus 1. Now, how does that kind of thing affect his ultimate role in what he's doing to our government and what he thinks of his public image, and what he's making the public think of him? I don't know, but I think the most reasonable thing to expect is that it's going to be unpredictable, because I think there's a lot of weird variables at play here. I mean, obviously, this is a personal.
Wow. So right out of the gate, Rachel Maddow, she jumps right into the deep end with Tesla's minor 1% sales dip. Yes, guys, 1%. And then she tries to frame it as if Elon Musk's entire empire is crumbling. I mean, seriously, like she glosses over the fact that Tesla's massive growth in the previous years, 38 and 40%, 38% and 40%, like they're nothing. Then she spins the minus 1% into like a harbinger of doom. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. No. Maddow, this is not some stock market apocalypse. It's literally a rounding error. But of course, let's go ahead and act like Elon Musk is just moments away from throwing in the towel.
Crusade of his to destroy as much of the constitutional republic as he can, without any regard at all for him having any legitimate government authority or following any laws. The personal dynamic, in addition, between this campaign donor and the president himself is very unusual, given that the president seems to have personally empowered this guy without actually giving him a government job. So the personal dynamic between them is all that Elon Musk has to stand on in terms of what he is doing to our government. The dynamic between them is weird, in which the president is effectively sidelined while Elon Musk takes center stage. The president, in contrast, appears to be weak and sort of beside the point, while his campaign donor regularly upstages him and talks over him, both in interviews and in the Oval Office. I mean, that would be hard to take for even the least egotistical president. It remains to be seen how we'll play out with this one.
So now, guys, here's where it gets really juicy. So Rachel Maddow, in peak dramatic flair, she suggests that Elon Musk is basically leading a personal crusade to destroy the constitutional republic, right? With zero evidence, of course. You know, there's no fact checking here. They don't do that. Now, apparently being a successful businessman who occasionally chats with politicians makes you somehow a shadow dictator now. And she paints this elaborate picture of Elon Musk wielding unchecked power over the government as if he's writing laws on the back of, I don't know, maybe a SpaceX launch schedule or something like that. Rachel Maddow just throws around terms like personal crusade, but conveniently skips the receipts. Again, there's no validation of these claims. And she makes it seem like, Elon Musk is being rude to President Trump and he just talks all over him. Come on, guys. I mean, like this, this is just unbelievable listening to this woman.
I'm not quite sure what to do with this at all, but you should know CNN was first to report today that the Trump administration has made an unusual decision with regard to Elon Musk's phalanx of private personal bodyguards. Now, NBC has not confirmed this, but CNN is reporting, based on 3 law enforcement sources, that the administration had the U.S. Marshals Service officially deputize members of Elon Musk's team of private bodyguards. And that may sound like kind of a bureaucratic designation, but one practical consequence of that is that the Marshals Service may now allow Musk's team of personal bodyguards to carry weapons on federal property. Loaded weapons. CNN reports, quote, some people close to Trump's White House have been taken aback by the scale of security that has surrounded Elon Musk since he became a regular presence in Trump's orbit last year. Musk's security detail rivaled only that of the president himself, the sources observed. But now, with this decision by the U.S. Marshals Service, now Trump and Musk, when they're in the same place, like in the White House or on other federal property, they're both going to be surrounded by equally huge phalanxes of armed guards. One set of them, the Secret Service, presumably loyal to Trump, and the other set, also armed but private and loyal to Musk. But everybody's going to have their weapons? Sure, that's not weird at all. That's definitely not like Monty Python crossed with Shakespeare at all. What could possibly go wrong?
So Rachel Maddow's paranoia hits overdrive when she dives into the whole armed guards conspiracy piece, right? So the U.S. Marshals, the deputized Elon Musk private security really kind of cues the horror music, doesn't it? Like in Rachel Maddow's world, it's the opening scene for, I don't know, some kind of like dystopian thriller. But in reality, guys, it's common sense. It's actually, it might not be common sense for a lot of folks who are not in the government space, but it's pretty common for high profile figures to have security measures beefed up in sensitive areas. CEOs of companies do this all the time. But Rachel Maddow, she manages to spin it, like always, she manages to kind of spin it like Elon Musk's private army is about to stage a coup on the White House lawn. And don't even get me started on her Shakespeare Monty Python like comparison. Like nothing screams hard-hitting journalism like, I don't know, forced British literary mashups, right?
Spent 10 of his 31 full days in office at one of his golf clubs. 10 of the 31 days. Donald Trump has not taken a foreign trip since he's been back in the White House. He has signed a grand total of 1 bill. He has taken an almost cartoonishly outsized interest in posing with big maps that say Gulf of America on them. And although the White House then picked a fight with the Associated Press, trying to force the AP to use that terminology rather than use the Gulf of Mexico, which is what it is, today in an interview when Trump was asked about that, he appeared sort of confused. He didn't seem to even understand that his White House had banned the Associated Press. In fact, saying in an interview today that they could come back whenever they want, even though he's the one who supposedly banned them. I mean, when President Trump isn't playing golf, he has taken multiple meetings about his golf investments. He has gone to the Super Bowl. He had somebody drive him around the track at the Daytona 500. Whee! That literally had him drive around the track. I mean, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say he is not the busiest man in the world. He appears to be sort of decorative at this point, while the person who's really working double time to make the government actually do things appears to be his top campaign donor, who is getting all the attention and all the credit And while Trump is, playing race cars and golf and enjoying the worst approval ratings of any new president in the history of polling, and they are getting worse with every passing day, meanwhile, here's just a partial list of the things that Elon Musk and his own companies have.
Hang on a second here. So next, Rachel Maddow, she pivots to her favorite punching bag, Trump, right? Now, according to Maddow, the president, he's not just golfing. He's apparently doing it, he's doing it wrong, because heaven forbid a president actually plays a round of golf without MSNBC clutching its pearls, right? Let's not even talk about what Joe Biden did. First of all, Joe Biden was missing for the whole last year of his presidency. We didn't even know where he was. He was napping more than half the day. He never took any. He never took any interviews. There were never any tough questions for him. Like, let's not even get started on the previous Democratic president here, okay? So what's Maddow's real issue? Trump isn't busy enough for her taste? Well, first of all, there are all sorts of reports that are coming out almost on a daily basis talking about the breakneck speed that Trump is taking on. Let's just look at the number of executive actions and executive orders that he's taken since he came into office. So I really don't know where she's getting this Trump isn't busy situation. It's the same tired narrative. Look, he's golfing while the sky is falling. Newsflash, Rachel, every president has downtime. But instead of sticking to the facts, she layers on snarky commentary about Daytona 500 laps and map labels. Really? Journalism or stand-up routine? Like, which is it? It's really hard to tell here. And how much, again, are they paying President Trump for this role of being president of the United States?
Somehow reaped from the U.S. government while Trump was, putting. Headline, Justice Department to drop discrimination case against Elon Musk's SpaceX. The Justice Department had filed the case against SpaceX in August 2023, accusing the company of violating federal law in its hiring practices. Yesterday, quote, the Justice Department said it intended to file a notice of dismissal with prejudice, which means prosecutors would not be able to file these charges again. The motion did not say why the case was being dropped. So check that one off his list. Headline, Doge employee cuts fall heavily on agency that regulates Musk's Tesla. A small government team regulating the sort of autonomous cars that Elon Musk says represent the future of Tesla, his car company, is getting cut nearly in half by the Musk-led U.S. Doge service. Check that one off his list. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration investigation in 2023 led to a National Highway Transportation Safety Administration investigation in 2023 led to a recall of 2 million Tesla vehicles. The same agency disclosed in April that it had documented numerous deadly crashes involving Tesla Autopilot. Now, thanks to Elon Musk's Doge, that same agency, the NHTSA, is losing about 10% of its workforce. Check that one off the list. Tesla, I should note, this year plans to put fully autonomous vehicles on the road this year. Yeah, and if you keep gutting the agency that regulates that sort of thing, who'll be there to stop them? Who'll be able to stop them before the crosswalk?
Wow, right. So here's where the real eye roll begins. So Rachel Maddow, she rattles off this laundry list of so-called Musk favors, gotta do my air quotes here, right, from the government, trying to paint Elon Musk as some backroom puppet master. But she throws in every conspiracy theory that she can find, from Tesla recalls to regulatory cuts, government investigations, hoping that something sticks. But notice how thin the details are. She'll say Musk benefited, but she skips explaining like how these complex decisions actually came about. Oh, it's classic. It's classic Rachel Maddow. Heavy on the drama, light on the facts, light on the details.
Here's another headline. Fate of Rivian's $6.6 billion federal loan now hangs in the balance. Fortune magazine helpfully nuts up the key point at the top of this one. Quote, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says he does not know whether the Trump administration will honor the contracts of the Biden administration.
Did she say nuts up?
Quote, if the loan is canceled, Tesla CEO Elon Musk stands to benefit the most. Check Rivian off the list. Who needs that competitor? This comes after the Trump administration already cut off federal funds for the National Electric Vehicle Charging Network, which leaves Elon Musk's Tesla unchallenged as the largest charging network in the country. Never mind that he took huge U.S. government subsidies to build Tesla and to build that charging network. Now that he's done that and he's the biggest game in town, the Trump administration is pulling up the ladder so nobody else can compete with him. Nice work if you can get it. Check that one off the list. The FAA chairman who grounded Musk's Starship rocket program after it catastrophically disintegrated on a botched launch and sprayed debris all over the Caribbean and caused the diversion of dozens of flights. Musk had repeatedly demanded that FAA chair should resign. He resigned on Inauguration Day. And aviation security has been awesome ever since, right?
So Maddow saves the wildest accusations for last, right? Now, according to her, Elon Musk is dodging federal oversight like he's in a Mission Impossible movie or something like that, with agencies dropping investigations left and right. And again, without any hard proof. It's all innuendo and these half-baked assumptions. She even tries to link Elon Musk to foreign adversaries, but backs away from the details again because, of course, the details might undermine the narrative. You see what I'm saying? You see the theme here, right? So Rachel Maddow's entire monologue reads like a conspiracy theorist's fever dream, stitched together with the flimsiest of connections and a healthy dose of dramatic pauses as she shuffles her papers and tries to figure out where she is next, right? This woman's crusade against Elon Musk and Trump is so transparently biased that it practically provides it practically parodies itself. I mean, instead of presenting facts, she crafts this elaborate fantasy where Elon Musk is some Bond villain, which, by the way, I love James Bond movies, and Trump is like his clueless puppet. But here's the kicker, guys. This kind of fear-mongering journalism doesn't inform people. All it does is inflame people and piss people off for all the misinformation. It's the classic Maddow playbook, right? Take a kernel of truth, inflate it with take a kernel of truth, inflate it with a whole lot of drama, sprinkle in a lot of loaded language, and then serve it up as news. This segment wasn't investigative reporting. This was all theater. And in the end, it just makes her look like she's the one that's spinning the wild conspiracies rather than actually revealing anything at all. So anyway, if you guys appreciate the updates, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys on the next one.